90% of traders lose money because of this very, very simple reason. Today, we're going to talk about the open range break strategy. We're going to go over it. We had the first batch where I was showing you guys the setup, how to set it up. This video is going to focus on how to execute that trade. So that way you guys don't get caught up in all the false breakouts and keep getting your stop losses hit. How many times have you gotten into one of those trades, right? You got in and you're like, hey, you know what? I had the break, we had the range break, and then it comes right back down and completely hits you, and then that stops you out. And then just to watch that same stock goes way back up and pull up and actually go exactly to the exact CP that you had, the take profit level that you had, or even go even higher. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into this. We're gonna go into the chart real quick. What I have here right now is the SPY. I'm going to go over a trade that I actually took on the SPY, and I'm going to let you guys know exactly how that plays out. You're going to see it again. This is a replay. This is a replay, but that's a trade that I actually did take. I think that was on the 25th or 26th. 24th, actually, Wednesday, the 24th. So let me zoom in so you guys can see. This is the 30 minutes, right? I'm on replay mode right now. This is the 30 minutes. There's two ways of really doing that. So the first thing we're going to do, this is what we're looking at right now. Boom. So we have our range, right? When you have the range, you set it up. You mark the highest point and the lowest point. All right, so that's the first 30 minutes. There's no trade. We're just trying to see what the market is doing. So now we have the range, and the range is established. All right, so now the next step, we talked about that last time. Let's see exactly how long that actual range is. Okay, right. So we have the range here, and we have that there. That will be 93. There you go. Get to 93. And I also typically do the bottom as well. The reason I do both sides is because I don't know where the stock is going. So I will put it on both sides and see exactly what happens. All right. So once I have that, that's all I do for the first 30 minutes. Right. This is the only thing I'm doing in the 30 minutes. I just have the range. Once the range is established, I no longer need anything from the 30 minutes time frame. For me, that's the way I treat it. I just have that just to establish the range. So I have that. All right. Now let's get back in. Now what I do is I go on the 5 minutes. So now I'm putting up the 5 minutes. So I already have those. I have the pro version of TradingView, so I have that. So you can still see the ranges are still right here, right? So now you guys can see what's going on right now. We have not broken yet. You can see this is where the stock is currently. We're still inside of the range currently. Now let me slow that down just a little bit. Okay, so now let this play out. So we're going to see exactly what's going to happen. So we pull back a little bit. We're consolidating and whatever. We're just watching, see what's going to happen here. And there you go. It seems like right now we're trying to break above. We haven't gotten the breakout yet. And here we go. So we got the breakout. Okay, let me pause this here. For a lot of people, right on that first candle, they triggering that in the very first candle. Okay, so you can do it that you can trade that way. It's perfectly okay for you guys to trade that way if that's the way you want to execute that. But you also have to have certain other things in your toolbox, right? So let's say that happens. You're like you want to people that want to do personally just to have a higher win rate. I try to get a break and retest, right? Now what most people think about when they say break and retest, this is what they're thinking about. So the stock actually have to break the level, come back exactly on that level to push up. Now, this is great. It's a great entry, but trading that way, you are going to miss some trades. right? You are going to miss some trade when you trade that way, and you guys going to see exactly why in a couple as soon as I put that on. So the 5 minutes just give me that again for execution. This is the way I'm doing it. I'm done with the 30 minutes for now. The 5 minutes, once I have the break above, I'm done with the 5 minutes. That's all I needed that for. I just needed to break outside of the outside of the range in the 5 minutes. That is all I needed. All right. Now let's head right back into the chart again, and we're gonna X that out. And now I'm digging in all the way down to the 1 minute. Okay. Now we are in the 1 minute now. Let's go. Make sure. Okay. All right, you guys are getting everything here, man. I do not pre-record anything, so any little funky things, technical issues, whatever happens, you have it right there with me because I'm not somebody you never going to see my videos as like being neatly edited and so forth and whatever. A lot of times people do that because they don't really know what they are talking about, so they have to take multiple takes to edit it. I'm not shaming anybody. I'm just letting people know this is how I feel about that. So for me, I want to do it live, right? I'm doing it live so you guys know exactly I am the one doing all the work. There's nobody else that's doing the work for me. I'm done doing all the work. I'm explaining you guys exactly what I'm seeing. Again, this is the 1 minute. You guys can see this here right now, right? This is the 1 minute. Now, before anything, since it's already pushing up, so what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the top of the first red candle in that move, right? This is it. I'm taking that and I'm going to move that right up here. All right. Why did I do that? Now let me explain why I did that. So because the stock did not consolidate in that area, it makes a move through that area so fast. The likelihood of any pullback coming back to that zone once again is extremely high because there's not really any support level to support the stock as it's coming down. So as fast as it goes up, the pullback is going to be just as steep. So I trade it that way, right? So if it comes all the way down to here, that's great. But if it gives me a pullback right on top of this little zone that I have there, right? If it comes like right on top of this little zone, I'm okay with that as well. Let me adjust this real quick. All right. So if it comes right on top of that little zone, I'm perfectly okay to take that trade depending on what I'm seeing. All right. So now let's play this. Let's let it roll. So you guys will see exactly what happened. Now we're pushing up, we're pushing up, we pushed up, we keep pushing up. Still push all the way up, and now we are getting the pullback. There you go. We pull back. There you go. Let me do that right there. Okay. And I stopped that at a perfect time. Okay. So this is considered a retest for me. Why am I considering that as a retest? Is because this is part of my zone. I didn't have a set stop loss directly on that. So this is a retest on that zone for me. All right. So now if you were trading simple break and retest. If you're trading simple break and retest right now, this is not a trade for you. You're missing that. This is not a retest. If you say, hey, it needs to come back and test the range specifically, this is not a retest. All right. Let's be clear about that. But if as part of your strategy, you know how to identify those liquidity zone, right? You can have a quick pullback for a liquidity grab for us to pull back up. So now you have a zone, okay? And the second thing, why am I triggering that trade? There's something else that comes into that. The blue line is the 9 EMA, the 21, and this one represents the 21, the red one, right there. So what we have was we were going up, right? Going up, and right here you guys can see we make like an evening star, so we pull down, and sellers try to push this down and they couldn't. So that means we see weakness on the downside. So there's weakness on the downside, and then the very next candle we have strength coming in on the buyer side. And if I actually zoom in, one thing that you'll also see is not only we're closing above the right above the 21 EMA, but we are also closing right above the 9 EMA. All right, we're closing above the 9 EMA. So let me do that. Actually, there's one thing I need to let you guys know as well. So this is how I'm positioning that. So this happened. So this would be my trigger would be here. Again, you don't have to take the entire move. There's no need for you to, even if you don't take the entire move, that is okay. So I'm having that, and I am targeting up there. Beautiful. So this would be a 2-to-1 trade. Okay? This is a 2-to-1 trade. Stop loss is even a little bit lower. You can put your stop loss a little tighter if you want to. I like to give things a little room, right? That's just me. That's why I put it right below the zone in case it comes down to check the zone. All right. So now let's roll it again. Let's see what happens. And there we go. We're moving up. We're moving up. Beautiful trade so far. I'm going to forward that a little bit just so we don't waste too much time sitting here, just waiting for this move to pretty much develop. We consolidate for a little while, but if you're looking at the 21 EMA, we stay above the 21 EMA. At any point, if there's a crossover on the way down with the 21 EMA, that means you might be in trouble. So we're looking at that, and we're going up. We keep on going up and up and up. Okay, I'm gonna pause that like right here. Okay. Now it's okay once you get to these levels. It's okay. When you do a 2-to-1, when you get to one, it's okay for you to take some profit. That's just trade management. That's trade management, risk management. That comes down to you guys' it's personal preference. For me, a lot of times I like to take a little profit, and then we're going to keep running. And okay, let me freeze that. Let me open that just a little more. Okay. So now everyone, you guys can see that. So right now we at full TP right now. Risk reward ratio, that's a 2. At that point for me, I'm removing at least half, if not 70% of my trade, but I am not closing the trade. I do not put take profit to close an entire trade. I do not trade that way. But what I am going to do once we get to these levels and whatever, what I am going to do is putting my do like I will trail my stop. All right, so that pullback is done. Let me pause that right here. Okay, so first of all, that's extra money. So now we had that pullback. I would have already have my stop loss right below, right below here. That will be my stop loss for whatever I have left. Now that it comes down and it's pulling up, I'm moving that stop loss right there. Okay, let me just mark it. My stop loss is moving right here. But guess what? Now this is just additional money. I'm making additional money. Okay? So we let this play out. Just keep on trailing that stop. We trail up. Again, let me pause it right there. Once we get this level again, we've broken this high. My stop loss is being moved again. That's just the way that I trade it. My stop loss is going to be moved. I'm gonna move it a little bit. We're up and we're pushing up. Now my stop loss is like right here. Okay, right at the bottom of that last red candle before we make the move up. Okay, we're still pushing up. Okay, at this point, let's hold it. Okay, now at this point, when we get to be this high in the trade, now I know I'm just playing with house money. So now I'm trading the stop. This is the 1 minute, by the way. I'm trading that stop, and every single bar, I'm bringing my stop loss up, and I'm putting it at about like 25% of the previous candle. Okay, 25% of the previous candle. If it comes down and stop me out, that's okay. But let's take a look before I keep on going with this, right? So if you're managing your trade that way, let's take a look at this. So as of right now, if we get stopped out, we're looking at a 3 point what almost a 4-to-1 ratio right now. Let it roll. We let that roll. That would have tagged us out. That's okay. That would have tagged us out. That's okay. And we can just let this roll. Just keep let it roll again. You guys can see. So this is where the trade would have ended actually, because you actually got stopped. I think the spy actually continued to move up. It did continue to moving up higher and higher. But does it matter to me? No. I mean, sure, a lot of us would say, hey, maybe I could have taken, but guess what? This was your target. Your target was right here, right? And you got all that. That's what you got. And again, if you're trading options, right? Like I trade options. That's the way I trade those. So this is a 6.89 move. So let's say you buy something that's a call that's in the money, and whatever. So every single 80 delta, every single dollar move is about $100 with your 80 delta. So get triggering that trade at right around 689 and getting it at around 690 29. So if you have five contracts, that's $500, right? $500. So you triggered that trade at what time? 10:25, and you are done by 11:30, 11:40. Okay, so just a little bit about an hour. All right. You make $500. That's not bad. And again, that just depends on how heavy you trade. Depending on how heavy you trade. If you're somebody that take 20 contracts, 50 contracts, and whatnot, now we're talking about real money, right? So that's all that is. All right, you're looking at this move there. That's a 4-to-1. That's a nice trade. That's a nice trade, nice P&L. That's how you execute that trade, guys. Not gonna have too much for you guys. So this is exactly how you guys can see exactly how I trigger that trade. Take your time. A lot of people, a lot of traders. I know the open range breakout is very, very popular, and a lot of people love trading it. I love trading it as well. But until I figured out these little things, I was still losing those trades because knowing the strategy is one thing, but executing the strategy properly, not just executing it, but executing it properly is key. So work on these little things. If you trade, you can also use the same sort of logic in the 15 and the 5. I will do some videos on that as well. If you like that video, or if you wanna see the 5 minute or the 50 minute, just let me know down below. I'll make a video on those time frames as well. If you have any question, please let me know. If you're using the ORB strategy, would love to hear from you. Love to know how you're using it. How successful has it been for you? Are you struggling with it? If you are struggling, what part of the strategy are you struggling with? Maybe I'll hold a Q&A where I can address all these things for you guys. If not, I wish everyone the best of luck. But just by switching that one strategy, that has changed so much in my trading. just switching that, getting these little things, because sometimes you just miss trade because you're waiting for a perfect retest, and you're not going to get that every time. But again, it's okay as long as you're okay to say, hey, I don't need to take every trade. If I don't take this one, I know there's going to be a perfect one, and I just want to catch that. That's perfectly okay. You add that to your trading, do that, and follow it for the next. I'll say give it about 2 weeks to a month. Practice that in a demo account. I would say don't use that. Don't try to use that or try to implement that directly in the market using real money. If you're not do just learning a strategy, I would advise everyone to try to use that in the simulator. Just see how comfortable you get with it. That way you can see where are you making mistakes and see how it works. And then make sure you track it. Every single trade you take, track it, and then take a look at your percentage. When you do, I hope you do remember to come back to this video and let me know how. Just take 10 trades and then come back and just let me know. When I say 10 trade, I'm not talking about 10 trade in one day. I know some of you guys will do that. I mean like 10 different days when you get the breakout, and then you take the trade. Whether it's on the upside or the downside, just wait. Just wait. The market will tell you exactly where it's going to go. Some days it doesn't give you a full move. Some days you just stay within the range. That's okay. We're not going to get flustered and get bored and start taking bad trades. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope I help you guys with this video. If you like this video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Again, check out some of the other videos I have. I have a few things coming up this week. Yeah, this week I have a few things coming up as well. Don't miss anything. I'll see you guys. Actually, not every night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We are live. 9 p.m. Eastern time every night. We are live. All right, take care, guys.